Hello everyone! Are you now ready for another meaningful learning experience? If you are, sit back, relax, watch and listen closely as we try to explore another world of information. Today, we are going to discuss what is communication. We use it every day, but can we define or specify what is it? Communication is the transmission, interpretation, or exchange of information. Now, if there is exchange, it means that there is more than one party involved. Typically, these parties are human beings. We human beings constantly interact with other people and other elements in society through sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information. Communication, in other words, is the transmission of information from one person to another to create a shared understanding. Communication actually comes from the Latin word communicare, which means to share or to make common. Communication is the key to success in relationships, workplace, social life, and many more. It plays a very important role in the life of a person, being a student, professional, political leader, and the like. The question is, can we live without communication? If your answer is no, definitely you are right. We cannot live without communication. In order for us to understand further the nature of communication, we must get to know first the communication cycle, specifically the 8 components that make up of it. Surely you may not have heard about the communication cycle, but the components are gonna seem familiar. To begin, let's start with the sender. The sender has some kind of idea that he wants to get to the receiver. That begs the question, how does an idea get from the sender to the receiver? That idea represents our third element, the message or the idea being communicated. Our sender here has a very specific idea in his mind. He is in love and he cannot wait to communicate it. Now we arrive at our fourth component, the encoding phase. To encode means to package the message, in which you only have 3 options: verbal, non-verbal, or both. Our sender here has decided that the best way to encode this message is through a love letter. And that brings us to our 5th component, the channel. The channel is defined as how the receiver takes in the message. Human beings have 5 different channels. Think, what else do we have 5 of? If you guess your senses, you're right. Hearing, seeing, feeling. These are the ways in which receivers take in the information. So, in this case, if this is a love letter, she will be using sight. Having taken in the message, the receiver has now to make sense of the message. And another word for that is our next component, decoding. To decode is to make sense of the message. If encoding is packaging the message, decoding is to make sense of it. She's now unpackaged the message. So, what are we gonna do? We have to wait for her response. What do you think? Will she be into him? Okay, it looks like she is. And that response she's having right there is what we call the feedback loop, or anything that the receiver sends back to the sender. There you have it, one effective communication cycle. But wait, it seems like we are forgetting our final element, the noise, or anything that complicates the message being sent by the receiver or by the sender.